Welcome back to the fuckery of a franchise. So, yeah, back to this.
I
knew you'd return.
Well, Pedro,
No, actually, I would have abandoned you if I could, but unfortunately, this is not.
Wait, Pedro. For creative franchise, but Pedro, we aren't doing Crash Boom Bang for years yet.
And we're not doing Sparrow into the Dragonfly.
Well, this franchise's equivalent, basically.
True.
Crash Boom Bang was made by Dibs, funnily enough.
Either this or Rise of Lyric. Whatever suits
Rise
your
of Lyric
boat.
is a better game than this.
Okay,
Okay, now let's skip that. Let's get to the boss.
Well, we've already seen that scene. We know what happens. Let's just move on to the boss.
Shadow, we're over here.
Now, just as long as
Don't
you
worry, don't worry. You will see the kick again.
Thank goodness you had one job and you succeeded, Pedro.
I think you are. Actually, wait, do I?
Let us hope you succeeded in that one
No,
simple job.
it seems like I did not. Just skip that scene as well.
You had one job, Duarte.
Everybody's already made a meme out of that shit for years at this point.
It's fun.
Pedro,
It gives us something fun, Duarte.
Right, sorry, Pedro, but you've committed the cardinal sin, therefore you are fired.
Hand in your badge.
You cannot fire me. I quit.
Okay, hand in your
I'm
badge.
sorry, Pedro, but that contract you signed prevents you from quitting. The only way you can.
What kind of contract is that?
Dwibs, you idiot! Let him quit, then we won't have to pay him severance.
Well, hang on. If he quits, we have to pay him something.
No. The way business works is that if the person quits, you don't have to pay them severance.
The same piece easy as the one in Sonic.
Basically, yeah. Don't worry. Basically, too, it's exactly what you think. Just
The difference being that Shadow has that super powered up motion, but other than that, just spam attack him and you're good.
basically, just keep going. That's basically it.
I guess you could say it's a bit harder only because of the train area having less projectiles for you, which kind of makes this boss fight easy when you play a Shadow when you get down to it. It also helps that Shadow by default has a cool slide kick as well.
Ow. No.
And that was his death scream.
Yep. It's the same. It's the same. This boss battle goes along the exact same way as Sonic's. The only difference here is that since I had a much more wider space, it was much easier for me to dodge his
I
attack.
got hit randomly and got knocked down on my face, but it was perfect still.
It was
Like
perfect.
me, please.
I kinda do like Silver, I just wish he was used better.
I like him too. He
Yeah.
I like
we
the
got.
idea of his
Yeah.
character and such, but
I'm just
the
glad that
execution
Ryan-
kind
He just
of,
comes across as
died on the way
discontract.
I
to
am
me.
just glad that Rivals redeemed Silver, and Silver actually got to have an awesome moment in Sonic Forces. Long way coming. And hey, his boss fight in Generations was fun. Hey, if we ever get to place him, and goddamn it, Pedro.
Those scenes aren't important. What's important
We've
is what
already
happens
seen
at
all
the
of
end
this.
anyway.
Again, you skipped Silver getting kicked in the head.
So, how is Aquatic Base with Silver?
Oh,
It's exactly what you're thinking
Oh,
right
never
now,
mind.
too.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Basically, this is going to pretty much function the exact same way that Shadows did. Just have a look.
Have a look.
Only slow as molasses.
Hey, if it's one consolation, you can use those balls now as Silver.
Yeah.
Yay.
And
Shadow.
we switch right to Shadow. Again, this is going to play out pretty much exactly how Shadow's one of this did. To the point where you pretty much practically start the level with Shadow, and then you'll play as Silver in the same sections where so.
Something wrong, Bibs?
No. Sorry, guys. This level was so exciting that I had to take a power nap to recuperate my energy.
I don't blame
I mean, granted, I guess there is one path divergence, unless if I'm even remembering this correctly, because it's not what I consider the most memorable.
If there is, it's not like it matters much in the grand scheme of things anyway. The level is just boring. So yeah, it's the same shtick as in the other versions of this level. Just keep killing Iblis mooks until you open the door. It's boring, it's tedious, it's repetitive.
It doesn't even have the cooler aquarium music from Sonic Stage. The one that mainly plays around the countdown phase when you're getting close to the egg carrier.
And now back to Silver.
That was a terrible line.
It was.
A lot of the lines are terrible.
Bend over. Oh, okay, that was just that easy.
Alright, silver medal.
So, question, like,
ahead.
I know it's gonna be relevant later, but what we do know, I know that this was supposed to be original reboot and everything, but, oh, you're skipping the barrier? Oh, no, maybe not.
Nope.
We'll do that later.
Like, what we know what's gonna happen at the end of this part, which kind of is what happened at the end of Shadow's campaign anyway. Like,
Not
hold
quite.
on,
This
hold
one's
on.
actually
Yeah,
different.
I know, but Silver supposedly giving the Blue Emerald to Elise
Oh,
and telling him it's
let's
lucky
save
charm.
that for when that cutscene comes.
No, but yeah, my question is, oh, that's just fantastic.
I
My
have
question
several
is,
questions when we get to that.
if that's what happened, supposedly, how does that fit into all the previous Sonic games where the Blue Emerald was used?
That's what I was.
By the way,
thinking
notice
about.
earlier too, that was me. I skipped the barrier thanks to the hovering earlier. Actually, I'm gonna do it now as well, actually, so pay attention. But first I'm gonna defeat this enemy because I guess I like torturing myself. I don't know why I'm even doing this.
It's like what Roger
Oh, never
said in
mind.
his
No, never mind. This is the another one. Throw that at the. Basically, you're supposed to throw those boxes at the pillar so that you can, you know, create the magnetism thing. However, since the throwing in this thing is so random, the physics, it's more trouble than it's worth. Just move on.
Anyway, it was like what Roger said in his parody, the fact that it's implied that Eggman kidnapped Elise one time per year just to get the emerald.
Basically, it.
Which would fit with Elise's knack for getting kidnapped.
Okay.
Here we go.
She took lessons from Princess Peach.
Well, again, it's so ironic that what was supposed to be the Mario killer ended up using one of its more common plot elements.
To be fair, plenty of games had rescuing princesses.
Yeah, but Sonic was supposed to be the major competition, wasn't it?
What stings, though, is when Tails said it looks like the princess has been moved to another location. That's where I draw the line.
It's not so much even the Mario sales killer tale. It's more so the fact that the whole point of Sonic is that he was supposed to be the anti-Mario in the sense that he was an alternative to what Mario was providing. By rendering Sonic's story as basically every Mario story ever made over and over and over, taking away the charm, you're basically killed the identity of this franchise by doing that.
True, and also giving basically a character that doesn't rely on speed in general.
All right, there you go.
Oh,
in the Sonic's campaign, I skipped over the ball. So this time we're going to do it legit, so that you guys get a basic sense of how this is.
No.
Well, unfortunately, Silver. Well, actually, there is one way you can skip this. However, I decided not to do it because I guess I might as well show this thing. I guess. Basically, if you jump into one of those pillars, as long as you keep using the mashing trick, you can basically just go from pillar to pillar, not bother with the ball as well. So yeah, in both versions of in both Silver and Sonic's campaign, the ball is entirely skippable if you know what you're doing.
However, admittedly, it's a bit harder with Silver.
If the ball hits the gate 6, the ball explodes.
It disappears, yes. There you go. Not that it matters much because it's easy. But again, if you want to skip that ball thing, just jump from pillar to pillar. Those that you could see there. There you go. Now let's kill this guy. Yes, kill all the enemies to advance, because that's always great in Sonic games.
It can work in some cases. This is not one of them.
Didn't happen also in Sonic Rush or one
Yes,
of the
and I
advanced
didn't like it there
The reason it
either.
worked in Sonic Rush was because you could just clear the enemies out quickly.
You could, but it was still an unnecessary step that might as well have been eliminated altogether.
Great.
Great!
There we go.
Like all the other doors.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
have
game.
done this.
Thanks, game, for once again treating me like I don't have a brain.
Like seriously, man. Also, that sound effect, I think I heard it somewhere else.
A lot of the sound effects in this game are stock, so...
Yeah.
They went the cheap way.
It tended to happen a lot with franchises that were branching into the 7th gen because this was when we wanted to make games more like movies. I kid you not, that was actually how the 7th gen started off. So of course they used a lot of stock sound effects that you would recognize from movies. Thankfully that did not catch on.
Well, no, that sound effect reminded me of one of the Spyro games. I think it was in one of them, the squealing thing.
Yeah,
it is in the Spyro games, actually.
might have been something stock that Spyro got as well. PlayStation games from that era also. Like, remember, Crash Bandicoot has the hyena from Lady and the Tramp.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Also, the gem sound effect is also used in the Crash games, I think?
Oh, jeez, what the hell? That's how you went. Again, that's how you went level. For an unsuspected player likes the game has crashed.
Okay, now here's where we actually get some different level design for Silver now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is this good?
It's the better music theme, so yeah, but other than that, no, this section of the level is pretty painful.
Oh, joy.
Wow, that punch. I love that punching sound effect for when you just knock them into the balls. It's so unfitting.
Yeah.
Yes. What even are those balls anyway? Like, again, it's aquatic.
They're probably made from the same material that the dummy Eggman from Sonic 2 Metropolis Zone's boss has.
Yeah.
Oh. Weird. Yeah, that's the sound that I mentioned. Well, maybe
that sounds like a bat sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard those from Sonic games before.
Oh,
And
great.
also-
This was the section we did with Knuckles, I think.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so we
one of
didn't
the
take
two
it from
time-
Shadows section, but we took it from Sonic section,
One
so...
of the two times you actually play as Knuckles in the entire game. Like, aside from the final level, obviously, but still.
And the DLC.
What even was the point of Knuckles in this game? I get Rouge because agents and shit, but...
Because that's the thing to remember.
Because we wanted to showcase Dan Green, who was really popular at the time.
That's just the thing too. I absolutely detest how during this particular phase, Sonic Team had this weird fascination of putting Knuckles in every single game for some reason, even though... okay, in Shadow was fine because, the whole world was being invaded by the Black Arms, so in order to protect his island included...
all they could get.
Yeah, not just that, but eventually his island will also come under siege, so obviously he would have to do something. Again, same thing with Forces. It made sense with him being in Forces because, well, again, obviously Eggman and Infinite will eventually seize up his island as well, so obviously he needed to help out and stop them as well. But
it made sense in Sonic Battle, and it made sense in Sonic Chronicles also.
Well, the Master Emerald was involved in the plot of that one.
And it made sense enough with Sonic Heroes because Eggman was threatening the whole world, so kind of a case similar to Forces.
I don't know, Joe, but that's just the thing, though. I mean...
Basically, any time where the world is in immediate danger.
Yeah. Oh, and yet he doesn't show up for Unleashed, which kinda you think would have demanded.
Well, remember, Joe, but that was because of the beginning of the Sonic Shitty Friends phase, where Sonic Team became absolutely afraid to have the friends on screen. But anyway...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Mine, their fears were kind of realised. Remember that review of Sonic Generation?
We know. Because you've told us that 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, that's right. Game Informer were really stupid with that one. And don't even get me started on Jim Sterling's Colors reviews. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't read that one.
Don't.
What's the issue with?
Yeah,
one of the instances where Jim pisses out of the toilet and it shows.
Yeah, I mean, he says that the game is lagged. That was BS. He said about glitches. There are no glitches. He also complained about the friends for the DS version in quite a whiny way. It was Jim Sterling at not his proudest. And second, even got to do a nice take that back at him.
It's interestingly, he was actually one of the few fans of Sonic Lost World.
Which is ironic because Lost World was kind of continuing some things from Colors. Guess he realized he done screwed up.
Well, the thing is, Jova, it doesn't have the boost form. It tries a completely different gameplay style, so it's not exactly. I mean, yeah, I see what you mean.
Didn't he speak positively about Generations, though?
He did, yeah. Well, the thing
So
is,
why would the boost formula?
From what I can tell,
Well,
there
actually-
are some.
I don't know, Jova. I thought Generations did the boost formula way better than Colors, if you ask me.
I honestly actually liked how Colors actually put more of a limitation on the boost in some regards.
True, but the level design was nowhere near as good as Generations, if you ask me.
I feel that, like, well, it complemented the use of the Wisps quite well, which Generations sodomized. It does one thing Generations screwed the pooch with, it was the Wisps and Planet Wisps.
Honestly, Jova, if you ask me, Generation kinda didn't even need the Wisp for the console segment.
I mean, it was nice to have him there, but if you're gonna have him there, do him right.
Oh my god, finally.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now about to get to the point where the game reaches one of its apexes of stupidity.
Yay.
The one that we could have been talking about, but actually wanted to save.
I'm sorry, what, too?
You still got an answer by quite a marginal term.
Well, he didn't die.
That's how awesome I am.
No, but the game expects you for this level to run this long.
Yeah, actually, Tio, mainly the idea is to just not die, get enough bonus points, and even if you take a while, you can get an S rank.
Getting S ranks is actually can be pretty easy if you know what you're doing and you know the basic tricks of it. Alright, so while Shadow was stealing Mephiles, at the same time, Silver was stealing Iblis.
Or trying to, at least.
What are you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst father in the history of fiction. He's going to seal the evil demon into the body of his own young daughter, and apparently the spell that, like we've already said, the spell that creates, that releases Iblis from her body is if she cries. To quote some Call Me Johnny, can you specify a bit more, Duke? Do tears of joy count? What exactly does it constitute in terms of tears?
Like, not just that, you're seriously telling me that as soon as she got conscious, she didn't cry at all by knowing that her father died.
Not to mention, her father looks just fine right now. How come he dies right after this?
Because
he has a heart attack or something, I don't know.
Also, this kind of implies that if whoever is holding the Iblis within them dies, then Iblis would get free, because if that weren't the case, then the Duke could have just sealed Iblis inside himself.
Exactly. That way...
I mean, now I know what you're gonna say. We never actually hear that if the royal family member dies, that will also free Iblis. Here's the thing, though. Not only does he not seal Iblis in himself when he's dying, but remember also how we got that little computer database that Tails looked up in Crisis City, that basically Iblis was freed when, the egg carrier crashed, with Elise on board.
You are a terrible, terrible king.
With Jova in turn, this makes the character of Mephiles even more stupider because he doesn't need to troll Sonic and the others, he just can kill Elise and be done with it.
And even if he has to fuse with Iblis by who's released because maybe he comes out a different way if Elise cries, Mephiles, you could easily make her cry by chopping onions in front of her, causing her enough pain that she cries, maybe showing her pictures of her dead. Well, okay, apparently she won't cry from the memories of her dead father, even though even Shadow showed emotion when he found out the truth in Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead. Also, yes, the same nipple goal.
By the way, I love this final shot that we're about to see. Like, it's... it just looks like he's about to say, no! It's just...
Not just that, take a good look at this picture. This is what the Sonic franchise had become at this point.
No! Seriously, what was up with that zoom out?
Allow me to sum up this from a very good blog post I once made about this game. Sonic 06 is the equivalent to a birthday party, where you, the actual birthday boy or girl, are sideshowed by the cool kid on the block, in this case Shadow, and you get beat up by the new kid on the block, in this case Silver. And your birthday present is, well, just wait till the last story for that. Happy birthday, Sonic!
Dun, dun, dun,
if you were even in the most of this game, like, seriously.
That's why Sonic isn't in the game, Jib. He's too busy partying.
I mean, what sense does it make to celebrate Sonic's anniversary in a story
yeah,
where
it does-
Shadow is actually the main hero when you get down
Is
to
this
it?
is this the one where the animators screwed up?
Yes. I
Yes.
already know what becomes of it in the future.
Yes, Jova's phone, we know.
Return.
So basically, as you recall, in Shadow's version of this cutscene, Silver leaves with him. They go into the same portal. They come out different. Also, Silver, so you left the white Chaos Emerald with the dead Duke's body, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure, fine, why not? Not like that could be of any
I'm
use.
surprised Duke didn't just eat the Chaos Emerald or something.
Not even gonna maybe throw that Scepter of Darkness down the trash chute. Just leave it
Oh,
right
again.
next to the girl who has no idea what's going on.
Hell, eat it or something. I don't know. Then
Animators.
the meth's supposed to get digested and.
Animators, Silver went into the portal alongside Shadow and took the blue Chaos Emerald with him. Let's not do this, which would cause a stupid time paradox. Actually, not even that, a time loop that would kind of spin to the face of all that lore that I've put a lot of work into establishing.
Sorry, Jova.
I'd rage, but knowing how this game ends, I'm just gonna laugh it off.
Yeah, it's so amazingly
Yeah,
bland.
I was trying to
things
discuss
turn out
this.
to be.
I was trying to discuss this earlier. That's one of the big problems I had with Sonic Team, in between Adventure 2 and to a lesser extent. Okay, let's put it like the in between
Oh
Adventure.
wait, hold on, this cutscene. This cutscene.
Oh, hey,
Hi,
Blaze.
Blaze. I just happened to show up right in front of
and
you.
I love this one. I love this one. Another demonstration of how Blaze is such a completely useless character in this one.
Iblis Trigger.
Like Silver, didn't I actually accompany you to the train station?
Not just
Why was
that.
I out here?
Not just that, but he also the Iblis Trigger was inside the Hedgehog, and Blaze just accepts this like she found an extra trinket in her pocket. She doesn't even ask. Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean the Iblis Trigger was inside the Hedgehog? What do you? How did you find that out? Like she just goes along with it. She does. Has Blaze been lobotomized? Seriously, she never actually asks anything. She just goes along with everything that happens.
Who's making a lot of noise? There's no people in the cutscene.
Ah yes, as Biff has noticed, we're suffering from Kingdom Hearts 2 syndrome again, sadly.
Ugh.
Stop Dr. Eggman's plans! I know that we're trying to now stop Mephiles and Iblis, but now we have to stop Dr. Eggman's plans.
How
Why
you
do
know?
you care?
You don't even know who Eggman is. How
Okay,
would you
to be
stop his
fair-
plans if you don't know who he is?
To be fair, at this point he has established that he knows who Eggman is, and I guess that this is just because he realizes that, oh right, actually no, this does make sense.
Oh no, not the
See,
card.
now he
I'm
realized.
sorry, Jova, but I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
We heard the screams and came running. It doesn't look like something we can handle. We're just the soldiers in the military. I'm sorry, but can you take Anna somewhere safe? Maybe to
I love this one, by the way. Protect Anna. She knows the secret.
Reminder, we had to protect her in Shadow Story as well.
Just that the capital K and C and S.
I'm sorry, Jova, but I still think that side mission NPC
There are
information.
only a few enemies near the entrance to the fortress. Please escort Anna there, please. Again, not like we can do anything.
I'm sorry, Jova, but to me, the whole side quest / NPC conversations with Silver informing him of Dr. Eggman, to me, doesn't fly because they're optional and most people already skip the NPCs anyway. So they should have had some kind of cutscene where someone explains to Silver who Eggman is in dialogue, just to make just to fill out the plot hole. Like it. I mean, I get the whole. Oh, okay, the game expects you to do side quests and talk to the NPCs. But I'm sorry, like, couldn't you have at the very least someone mention who he is? Have Mephiles mention it to him, why not? Like,
I do not disagree with you on that. At this point, though, it does make sense that Silver knows Eggman, if only because he's actually infiltrated Eggman's base. Back then, it definitely did not make sense unless you actually did the side quest. But at this point, Silver has been to Eggman's base. So,
I'm sorry, Joe, but who exactly...
Hold on, let me
Sorry,
finish.
Go ahead.
At this stage of the game, it does make sense that he knows. Not that it didn't make sense that much back then, but now it does.
Well, hold on. Who exactly told him in any cutscene up until this point that who Eggman was? Because I don't remember.
Oh, That simple Shadow did.
He did? Where? When?
He mentions around the time where... God dang it!
I
I hate how enemies spawn like that.
Point me to the specific cutscene, because I don't remember Silver hearing the words Dr. Eggman anywhere in these cutscenes.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I was wrong. It's not Shadow that says it. Basically, if you recall, when Silver has Sonic captured, Eggman kidnaps Elise, and then Sonic yells after them. That's how he knows.
What, Sonic yells Dr. Eggman?
Yeah, remember when Eggman kidnaps Elise for the umpteenth time?
No. What he said was, Elise, wait. He didn't mention Dr. Eggman's name, did he?
No. Not the first time. The second time. Like, remember, Pedro, both times that Silver has Sonic.
I know that this game is bad, but they're really, arguing about the semantics over a fucking name.
Well, Teo, do you have anything better to contribute when it comes to this side quest?
Again, Jova, again, Pedro, I already told you, it's the future, they most likely have records of it that Silver and Blaze probably consulted. I mean, if you want to ask a question, you might as well ask where do Silver and Blaze actually live in the post-apocalyptic future.
So first Teo mistakes Pedro for me, and then he mistakes Sonic for Blaze.
Point is, it's one thing that's easy to assume the fact that Silver may know the existence of Dr. Eggman, at least in the past.
I don't know. I just wish we could have had someone mention it to him in a cutscene.
I mean, I guess to be fair, Teo does have a plan vehicle, even if there is something specific. I mean, at this point, it's easy to assume that. I mean, I'm not saying that we're doing the writer's job for them. It's nothing like that. No, it's just like, at this point, Silver has actually been to one of Dr. Eggman's bases. He's read newspaper. Well, yeah, Netflix showed him a newspaper about Eggman's egg carrier blowing up the same when Tails looked up. At this point, honestly, it's not even worth really.
Anyway, to continue with it.
This game has way worse issues too.
Anyway, yeah.
Everyone is celebrating us. We finally get some gratitude.
I guess I'll move on to my other argument that I was saying. Like,
she knows the secret.
I guess I'll move on to my other argument.
What secret?
Oh, you'll see.
She's about to say. Go ahead,
Thank you very much for protecting Anna. I'm sure that Elsa will be really pleased.
Hey, look, it's Nishihura. Nishihura's in the background.
Yeah, okay. The accordion man.
No, the accordion man.
That looks something like
I nicknamed it. I affectionately nicknamed him Mr. Nishihura.
I'm more considering Mario.
Let's see.
So
right?
close.
Does it really matter, Pedro?
No.
You sounded like you cared.
Well, just because I care, that doesn't mean it matters.
Should we get Athena Strikes in on this one?
I mean, Teo here is the one who will play shitty games just to get trophies. So, I mean, sometimes we care about things. Sometimes we care about things that don't matter. It's human nature.
So what now? What?
Not to mention Jova, I've platinum Fire Fencer F twice, so I can't even say anything.
Yeah, you platinumed the game way worse than Sonic 06. How do you feel?
Well, depends on the perspective, because Sonic, to be fair, Fire Fencer F does have better gameplay than this. At least Fire Fencer F works as it functions as it's intended, at least.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as overall, objectively speaking, overall, Fire Fencer
in terms of gathering all aspects together, yeah, Fire Fencer F is more painful. Oh, here we go again. Go ahead, Jova.
Who are you? What do you want from me?
Yeah, this mission was so funny we had to repeat it again.
It was easy with Sonic though, because we're the fastest thing alive.
Actually, it's also easy with Silver, as I'm about to demonstrate.
I saved Princess Elise and other girls who are in trouble. I am the supersonic hero, Sonic Man! What's that belittling look on your face? I'll race you so that you can behold my power! Do you think you can beat my supersonic powers?
No, and actually, yeah, but whatever.
There you go, Pedro. Show him who's boss of this game.
Just to finish what I was saying, though,
Sonic Man returns. Da, 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 da.
Just to comment on Jova's comment about the whole lore thing with the Chaos Emerald earlier.
Oh God.
Again, I really detest how in between Adventure 2 and Unleashed, Sonic Team went on this wild spree of completely ignoring the lore that they've established previously.
Can I have
what do you mean?
Please?
Go to 30 minutes.
Well, Jova, like you yourself mentioned, that Chaos Emerald paradox.
Bad. Okay. Go around the castle town once and reach the goal before Sonic Man, who is insanely slow.
30
But
minutes.
Okay.
Again,
there.
my internet keeps crapping out and stuff on this playthrough specifically.
wow, you're slower than Silver. Think about that, man.
Alright,
really think about it.
Click.
Like, look yourself into a mirror, Sonic Man, and say, I am slower than Silver the Hedgehog in a
need
game
to get
of
a real
Sonic 06.
And that's it. We're done.
Wow.
Even with
Yeah.
Silver, it's incredibly
know,
easy to get an
when-
S rank in this.
When you get down to it, Sonic's was actually harder because that one had spikes that you at least had to avoid, and you were faster, so it was harder to control. Here, what was even the challenge here? Like, maybe if the guy was still fast, I'm just warming up. I haven't shown you anything yet. Oh god, that means another quest.
No, fortunately not.
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Somebody needs my help. Gotta go. Bye.
Which means gotta go
Bye,
fast.
then.
And that is the last we ever hear of him.
Yeah.
So they
Plot
explain.
twist, he's the key to saving the world from
I'm sorry. Is my visor on? Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm here doing here. Cameraman, can I get
How
some?
can you even see out of that thing?
Well, the frame rate went major tanking right at the end of that fade out.
So yeah, because it's always a good thing to have the final quest with a character like this, and on a cliffhanger, even though it's the final quest. That's not dicking us out of any potential stuff now, is it?
Actually, Jova, the final Silver side mission is only available after finishing the campaign.
Oh, I forgot about that one. That's with Sonic Man, isn't it?
Wait.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. I guess it's fine. Never mind. Ignore
Alright,
me.
then
We're done.
see you for the next part.
See ya.
So I was right or wrong? Whatever.
See ya.